Hi guys, it's Movie Test again here. Okay, I'm gonna do a review of the movie of the newest version of Clash of the Titans. I must admit, I was impressed. I've seen the 80s version like twice now, back in 6th grade, and I rented it. This topped it completely. It is beyond a movie. It's an awesome, awesome movie. The beginning to me really confused me a lot. I was like, first it showed like the casket thing like floating on the water where his mother and him were as a baby, and his adopted father found him. Was like, what is this? I was a little confused, but I accepted it later on after I explained it. Okay, basically the people on Earth, this is back in mythology, all this stuff didn't really happen. Basically, humans, which is us, are beginning to think, oh, we don't need the gods anymore. We are our own people. We're the gods now. We are in charge. And that really ticks ticks him off, which, like, he made him, but I think it's the only way to destroy him. So Hades, being tricksy as ever, convinces Zeus to be able to release the Kraken on Argus. And after Andromeda's mother, the queen, compares her beauty to the gods, Hades comes in and kills her, which he says, "You're like the dirt underneath our fingernails," that's a quote he says. And it is a lot, and also, for the only way for Argus to be saved is so that way that Andromeda is a sacrifice to the Kraken, which a lot of people think, oh, there's people like in white stuffs and white garments, white paint, saying that, oh, Hades is right, Andromeda needs to be sacrificed, we need to be saved. So I was like, Hades is the god of the dead, he rules the underworld, he doesn't have any hope, come on people, don't be fooled. I was like, how stupid are you people? My favorite scenes of the entire movie was like the Medusa scene and when the chase with trying to get Medusa's head so that way it can freeze the Kraken into stone. It was like, the Kraken looks so dang awesome. You guys are gonna like it. Also, if you have seen the older version, the mechanical owl Bubo, which I have to admit is a lot of favorites to fans. I'm sorry, he doesn't appear in this a lot. He only appears like in a few seconds as a tribute to the old one. He is like so cute. It has the same storyline, but there are a lot, not a few, a lot of changes in the plot line. Like, they didn't do all that silly riddle stuff that Andromeda have to do, fighting the two-headed wolf. And like Perseus, for example, he's done by Sam Worthington. He also did the main guy in Avatar. I've seen it like 3 times in the theater. He did an amazing job as Perseus. Perseus in this actually is a lot different because in the older one he actually accepted that he was the son of Zeus, but in this he denies it. He denies it over and over and over again. It was like, if the gods are destroying us, I don't want to be like them. I'm a human. I'm a man, not a demigod. But back in the 80s when the first one was made, they didn't have CGI, so for most of the creatures like Caraboss, Medusa, and scorpions, they had to do like puppetry, which I have to admit looks really bad on picture once you compare it to the newer one. It is, and especially the Kraken. And also, I like Andromeda in this version better because the older one scares the living daylights out of me. I don't know why. Hades, god of the dead, he was the new villain for the movie, which I have to admit really shook things up a little bit and made the story actually a bit more interesting. Ralph Fiennes, he did Voldemort in Harry Potter. He did Hades. Very darn amazing. He he'll send you when you first see him, you'll be scared out of your wits. Like, the Kraken looks like 100 times, no, 1,000 times better than in the old one, because in the old one it looked like a fish person with a long tail, which, yeah, it's amazing how far we've come from the movie industry. Medusa, for example, Medusa looked 10 times better and actually a little beautiful in her face when she wasn't going like turning people into stone. She actually looked amazing in this movie because that scene where it's Perseus versus Medusa, it was actually a bit more like on the edge of your seat, because in the old one it just went like this. Which I have to admit, to a lot of fans, it basically like makes them want to sleep. And the witches, they kind of scared me at first, but then they actually turned out like to be quite hilarious. Because in the older version, they were just like 3 blind women like with no eyes, and the eye they hold it up like this was actually just glass. This version, they actually look a bit more menacing, and the eye they have is actually an eye. I'm not saying anything else. That would be spoilers, and I don't want any of that. Okay, Zeus. Zeus, the guy who did him, did Qui-Gon Jinn in Star Wars: The Phantom Menace. He did amazing. It was so powerful. And Laurence Olivier, he did Zeus in the older version. He was good too, but Liam Neeson did like a new revamp of it, which was like beyond incredible. Like Pegasus shocked me the most, because as we've seen like in the old version, the Disney version, Pegasus is white, but in this they made Pegasus black. I was like, they made him black? Are you serious? That's like Black Beauty with wings. I was a little confused, but I got used to it afterwards. Also, Caraboss is a lot different, because in the 80s version, he was actually a prince and son of a goddess. He was supposed to be engaged to Andromeda. He was deformed and all that, and he was killed. And this version, he's actually Perseus's like adopted father and such. And he was actually Caraboss. It looked really hideous and quite intriguing. For any of you who've seen like the old 80s version, the city Argos was destroyed by the Kraken, and the rest of the place takes like in the city of Joppa. But in this, Argos isn't destroyed. It stays, and Joppa isn't mentioned at all, not a single bit. There is also a lot of new characters in this, like the fishermen, like the family that Perseus was adopted in. He was actually adopted, unlike the old version. His mother lived, his brother died. I'm not saying anything else, that would be spoilers. He actually had like a adopted father, a mother, and also a sister, which after it was I was surprised. Yeah, you don't see them until like after they first appearance. And there was this one woman named Io. She was really intriguing. She was like Perseus' mentor, like helping him through the journey, like with the witches and how to train him for Medusa and all that. It's incredible. Hi, see ya guys. This is the end of my review. I hope you guys really liked it. Put comments on the bottom. I take criticism now. If you're wondering, it's a big improvement from my Alice in Wonderland video, like from like a month ago. It's just, I won't give any hints for the next movie, but I will keep you guys posted for another thing in the future, and I'm not going to spoil anything else, but after this, I'm going to get into a little more of anime stuff, like after my 10th video, and I hope you guys, and stay tuned for that. See ya!